In this particular yoga flow, we'll have the focus on releasing tension through the neck and shoulders. So where a lot of that stress and habitual holding can take place, we get to open up through those areas, removing what's stuck and looking at some of the causes and addressing them in a really self-nurturing and self-caring way. So bring yourself just to sit on the mat. Focus in on your breath, always allowing this time to settle in before we do anything. Breathing deep into the belly, really bringing yourself to be present here. Feeling that softness through the shoulders, even if they don't feel very soft at the moment. And for this one, you'll want a tennis ball, just for this first part. Placing it in front of you, you can lean back on your hands and just take your right foot and just massaging lengthways along your foot, finding that Goldilocks pressure so that you can keep the ball under control. And really here, we're just massaging into those tight, sensitive areas of the connective tissue. The reason we're doing this is because that connective tissue runs up all along the back of the body, up to the back of the neck and over the crown of the head. But this tightness can also contribute to tension headaches that come from the neck and originate there. And personally, I find that this really helps me to ease the occurrence of that as well as the pain of that when it has happened. So it's just a nice way to start. And switching over to the left foot, just doing this for a few minutes on each side. You might notice different areas of tightness or sensitivity on either side, and just exploring how that feels for you. Making sure you're still breathing, even in this moment where we're not particularly posing as such. That breath and awareness during the self-care actions that we're taking is really important. So you can place the tennis ball to the side, and here you can place a block underneath your hips while you're sitting so you can get a nice tall spine. That can help really open up, especially if you're particularly curled in. If you don't feel like you need that, if you have a nice length already and openness, you don't need to. It's just an option. So just finding your breath again. Breathing in, circling the arms out wide and up. Palms connect above your head. Exhale down the center to the heart. Interlace the fingers, elbows lift. Breathe into the height of the heart. And exhale, press the palms away as you curl in. Look down to the belly button. Inhale, stretch the arms up above your head, reaching tall. And as you breathe out, release the hands, catch them behind your back. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, draw the hands down to the mat. Open up, broaden across the collarbones. And exhale, folding forward at your hips after a few breaths here, really feeling into that opening. Let your arms come up behind you. You can keep the elbows bent here if you need to. Breathe in, sit yourself back up. Exhale, hands back to Anjali Mudra at the heart. And we repeat that, the circle of joy. Breathe in, circle the arms. Exhale, down to the heart. Interlace the fingers, elbows lift. Breathing in. As you exhale, broaden the shoulder blades, really curling in, stretching through the back door of the heart. Inhale, stretching upwards, lengthening the sides of the body. Exhale, release the hands, catch them behind your back. Breathe in, squeeze the shoulder blades as you open up. Feel that opening as you take a couple of breaths. And exhale, folding forward at the hips. And you can play with how the elbows feel here, what the hands are doing. See if you can keep the palms connected. Inhale, sit yourself back up. And exhale, hands back to the heart. We do that one more time. Inhale, circling. Exhale, softening to the heart. Breathe in, elbows lift. And out, pressing away as you look down to your belly button. Inhale, stretching upwards. And exhale, catch your hands behind your back. Breathe in, get that opening without throwing your head back. And exhale, fold yourself down. You're ready, breathe in, sitting back up, and out, back to the heart. So just sitting with your breath here, feeling into it, noticing the difference in your shoulders. We take these pauses throughout this practice. When you're ready, circle the arms out wide and up. Exhale, twist to the left, looking over the shoulder. Breathe in, back to center. Exhale to the right, so left arm to the opposite knee, other hand behind you. Moving with your breath. Keeping a nice long spine, we're just getting that movement initially. And each inhale lengthens the spine so that that twist can happen through the rib cage part, keeping everything safe. When you get to the left side, next time, shuffle the left hip back. Take another breath in, lengthen the spine, and use your hands to help prop you up as you exhale, twisting through the rib cage. Still breathing in and out of the belly. Even in the twist, noticing the different sensations of that breath there. Slowing the breath down. Keeping your body where it is, turn your head to look over that front shoulder. Draw your chin down towards the collarbone and make those tiny little movements until you find your sweet spot for the stretch in the back of the neck. And when you find that, just pause and breathe. Imagining that it's just melting the tension away here. Noticing what happens with each exhale, focusing on that release. Lift your head up and turn your ear down towards the shoulder. Finding the stretch for the side of the neck, maybe across the top of the shoulder, feeling into that. Again, still breathing. We let that exhale help us to release the tension, to feel into it. So lift your head up, square your hips on your next in-breath. Lift that back arm up and cross it over the bottom into eagle arms. So your left arm's on top of right. So you can bind the bottom hand around the top wrist. If that's too tangly, you can flatten the backs of the hands together. And if that's even too much, extend the arms out, press the backs of the hands together that way. Finding your variation here. The more you engage the forearms together, the more you'll feel that stretch across the upper back and maybe the outer shoulders. Making sure the shoulders aren't bunching up around the ears. Breathing into the belly. Just feeling into the pose to begin with, and then pulsing with the breath. Breathe in, lifting from the rib cage, lift the elbows. Exhale, curl the elbows down towards the belly button. Rolling the spine back in as you inhale, lifting up. And exhale, curling down. Do that 3 more times with your breath, really exploring those dark little areas of tension that can exist in this spot and how they're being lit up as you move, as you open. On your next in-breath, sitting up, taking a big, wide, lengthened, open breath. Exhale, hands down to the knees. Just give your shoulders a little wriggle. And if you're sitting cross-legged, just change the cross of your legs to bring balance. So breathe in, reaching tall. Exhale, turn to the right this time in a twist. We'll do that a few more times to each side. Breathing in as you lengthen and out as you twist. And taking your time here, we're just getting that gentle movement back into the body. And the next time you turn to the right, shuffle that right hip back. Left hand comes to the right knee, other hand comes behind you to help prop you up. So as you breathe in, you get a nice tall spine. Exhale, finding your twist. So if you need more of a gentle open belly twist, just take it easy. And again, if that block is too much, if you're finding it easier to prop yourself up without it, you can remove it. Breathing into the belly, closing your eyes and imagining that your head, shoulders and hips are all stacked in one line. And keeping your body where it is, turn your head to look over that front shoulder. Draw the chin down towards the collarbone and finding the sweet spot on this side, knowing that it's okay if it's in a different spot than it was on the first. Just really approaching it with that feeling of exploring. And just being with that, with your breath, allowing whatever it is to be acknowledged, to be felt. Lifting your head up and then turning that ear down to the front shoulder, feeling into the side of the neck and that stretch there. Making sure that those breaths are long, slow and deep. They're the kind of breaths that help our body to relax, to know that it's safe, to soften, which is exactly what we're aiming here for today. So squaring the hips, lifting your head, breathe in, lift that back arm, and exhale, cross it over the front arm. So this time right arm over left into eagle arms, Garuda arms, choosing any one of those options. Softening the shoulders down away from the ears, feeling into the stretch on this side, engaging those forearms and breathing. And then when you're ready, you can choose to hold or pulse here as you breathe in, feeling as if you're lifting from the sternum. Arms reach up, still connected, still engaging. Exhale, curling in, feel that spread across your shoulder blades. Pulsing, lifting, and breathing in. And exhale as you curl down. 3 more times with your breath. Feeling into those little hidden areas that hold tension, that can cause us that pain or that distraction, but we're not really sure are there until we find them. And on your next breath in, sitting up, expanding your arms out wide. Exhale, hands down. Give your shoulders that little wriggle. Give them that little reprieve. And take another couple of breaths, just noticing how you're feeling even after just those 2 poses. Is there any tension that's ebbing away? And is there any that's remaining? You can swing your legs around and rock yourself back to child's pose here. And here you can extend the arms but connect the palms and then bend the elbows. Come into reverse namaste with the palms behind the head. The more you press the back of the elbows into the mat here, You might feel more of a stretch along the triceps, along the lats, opening up that area that holds the shoulders as well, that can hold tension. So exploring those different areas that we might not necessarily think of as contributing. You can release the arms, extend the hands to shoulder width and lifting up onto the finger pads to open up the underside of the shoulders and the underarms here. Again, exploring these different areas in different ways. Releasing the hands down, noticing how that feels. Softening into your breath, into Balasana. And then bring yourself up to hands and knees, and you're keeping your thighs vertical here and extending, walking your hands further forward so you can come into Anahatasana, heart pose or puppy pose. So your hips are staying lifted. You can play around with what your hands are doing. Some people find it more comfortable with the hands flat or up on the finger pads again, drawing the heart and the chest down towards the mat. So this depends on how open you feel here or not. If it's feeling like too much for the shoulders, allow yourself to ease out a bit and find your depth that works for you. Hold there for a couple of breaths and bring yourself back to child's pose, arms down along the sides so you can really soften through the shoulders. Those deep, slow breaths, just letting that tension ebb away as it's ready to. And bring yourself up to hands and knees, knees wide, big toes touching. Plant your left hand down underneath your chest. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. And exhale, wrapping it around your rib cage. Give yourself a big hug. Breathe in, twisting open. And exhale, curling down. One more time like that. Inhale, pressing into the bottom hand. This time as you exhale, draw that arm through, land on the outside edge of the shoulder. And firstly, pressing into the back of that bottom arm, pressing it into the ground. You'll feel a little bit of a stretch there. The next option is to bring the top hand in front of your face and using that to help you twist through the rib cage, drawing that top shoulder towards stacking. Even if it doesn't quite meet that stacking point, we're not forcing or pushing it. We're just encouraging that openness. And then if you're feeling open, if you're feeling stacked, you can lift the top arm up, turn the palm to face behind you and bind the arm behind your back, catching your shirt or the top of your thigh. Really allowing that openness through the front of the chest. We stretch through different areas along the back and around the shoulders. Making sure you're still breathing here. It can be easy to hold your breath. Release your top hand, plant that hand back down. Inhale, sweep open once more with the right hand. Exhale, we swap them over. Right hand comes to the center. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, wrap it around. Give yourself that nice little hug. Breathing in, expanding open. And out. Curling in. Last time. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, threading the arm through. Let your head and neck relax, pressing into the back of that bottom arm. Top hand can come in front of your face, using that to gently guide the top shoulder back. This helps us to twist through the rib cage part of the spine as well. Again, the option to bind the top arm if it feels okay to. If that's all too much for your shoulder, just take it down a notch, take it easy. You don't want to be feeling pain at any stage throughout this. And again, making sure you're breathing, stepping out of that trap of holding the breath and lengthening and deepening it just a little bit more. Releasing that top hand, plant it down onto the mat. Breathe in, sweep your left arm up. And exhale, lowering down. Here, find yourself in a low plank and gently lower down to your belly. We're extending the right arm out in line with the shoulder. The left hand flattens to the mat beside you. And we're gently pressing into the left hand to lean, to open the chest towards the left. Getting a nice shoulder stretch along the front of that right shoulder. So this one, you really want to take it easy, particularly if you have any existing shoulder injuries. Not pushing it too far too soon. So playing around with the position of that left hand can help. That left foot might have stepped behind you as a balance and support of the weight. Making sure you're still breathing, exploring your range without forcing anything. And taking it easy as you slowly lower down back to your belly and swap the arms over. Left arm extends directly out to the side. Right hand comes beside you and pressing yourself with the right hand to open up towards the right side, finding your openness on this side. And again, it may be a slightly different level of openness, but still avoiding that forcing of anything and just breathing into what feels good. Shoulder is a really volatile joint that you want to treat gently and carefully. Feeling the belly expand with those belly breaths that you're still taking. And gently lower yourself down to your belly, giving yourself a little bit of a shoulder wiggle. And extending your arms out directly in front of you this time. Cross one hand over the other and then keep walking them towards the opposite side. So your arms are crossed, coming up closer to your shoulders. So getting a nice stretch for the deltoids, the outer shoulders here. Again, you might feel particularly tight. They might be far further out towards the front still. Or you might be able to walk them in close if you're feeling, and if you are open here, you can tuck your toes and use that to press your body weight a little bit more towards the arms. But again, if it's causing pain, just ease off. Let your chin just relax down. Feel your belly expand into the mat beneath you as you breathe. Your neck is soft. You're not holding your head up at all. Just allowing that openness to find itself. Gently start to walk your hands back towards the front and swap them over to the second side. So second hand goes on top, walking them out. You'll feel like you have really short arms here. Just allow yourself, if it feels silly, just let yourself be playful in it. Finding your depth on this side. You'll find different areas feel different. Depending on what side you're on, you'll be feeling into those areas of tension and how they're held on either side and where they show up. So again, let your head and neck relax down, let your chin just drop, and let yourself breathe. And if you feel to, even closing your eyes here, so you can just relax into it. Not worrying about what it looks like or anything like that. Walking your hands gently back out to the front. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders, give them a little bit of a wiggle, and gently lifting yourself up. Rocking back to child's pose. Tuck the toes here, extend the arms. And then we just walk the hands off to the right side of the mat into a side bend. Your hips will come naturally towards the left heel. You're extending your left arm out towards the diagonal. And again, feel free to play with the placement of that extended hand, palm flat or coming up onto the edge of the pinky finger side of the hand. Your right hand can come beside the knee to help you balance and lean into it. Come back through center and walk yourself over to the left side. This time, your right arm is extending, playing with that hand placement, and all the while breathing in through the side of the body, letting that openness happen through the rib cage. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of release around the sides of the lower back through the quadratus lumborum muscles. Or maybe you're feeling it more up around the shoulders, just exploring this landscape of your body. Walking yourself back to center, coming to hands and knees, and turning yourself around. This is where we grab our block. If you don't have a block, again, I always say a thick book works well as well. Having it widthways along the mat, and you want to place it so that when you lay down on top of it, it's right at the base of your shoulder blades. So it's on the shoulder blades, but at the lower edge. And that allows you to have nice open shoulders rolling open as you lay down. So you don't want the block in the lower back arch. You want it a bit higher up. Have the arms extended where they feel comfortable, and the knees can be bent with the feet flat on the mat if this is too much for your lower back, or if it's comfortable for you to, you can extend the legs, have the feet wide, let them soften out to the side. Exploring what works for you in these ways, but you're getting this lift through the sternum thanks to the block, and this opening, the rolling open of the shoulders. Just for a few moments. We don't hold this one for too long, but we do end with this. Letting yourself relax into the support of the prop beneath you. Adjusting as you need to if your shoulders become uncomfortable or if your lower back does. And finding that easy breath now, just that open channel for it to travel all the way down into your pelvis. And as you lay here, letting yourself soften, exploring those areas that we've just opened up, exploring them with your in-breath, noticing how they're feeling, Noticing again what tension has decided that it's time to let go, and what tension still wants to linger. And can you soften your thoughts towards even that tension? Instead of forcibly pushing it away, can you acknowledge it? Let it know that you feel it, that you know it's there. And just be with that. If you want to keep resting here, I would recommend only staying in this position for a couple of minutes and then removing the block from underneath you, coming into your more traditional Shavasana position, flat on the mat. Taking as long as you need, as much time as you need here.